Hey everyone, many blessings. It is me again, All Things Wonderful, and I'm back just to do a quick message. I'm skipping all the intros today. I'm just getting straight to the message. This is partly because I've just been extremely busy and I was really ill prepared to come on here and actually do a video. But seeing as how I had some time, I really wasn't planning on doing a video at all today. I was supposed to be at the shelter again today, but I'm kind of under the weather, so I had to call out sick. But that's why you haven't really been seeing me post as often, and I probably won't be posting as often, just due to my busy schedule. The Most High has really been leading me to my purpose, and so I've been interning at a homeless shelter 4 days a week, and then I also help the elderly on the weekends. So with that said, I'm just extremely busy, but I'm also extremely blessed. And I feel like, I'm really living out my purpose and what the Most High has been calling me to do. So I just feel extremely blessed. I feel like I need some type of humanitarian award or something like that. But, really, I don't need it because I do it because it's what I've been called to do. It gives me great delight to know that I'm helping vulnerable populations. A thought that I did have this week is, with everything that's going on, all the charades and smoke and mirrors and stuff like that, I just came to the conclusion, like, you know what, it's their world. I'm just here to pick up the broken pieces that they leave behind. With me helping the homeless and helping the elderly, I've been getting to meet a lot of people, and hearing a lot of their stories about how they got into these certain situations in life, and hearing out their life story. And, just really trying to do my part in helping them figure out their life and navigate, how to live, as peacefully and as abundantly as possible in this current infrastructure, in this current system that is in play now, and just try to let them know as much as they can. I can let them know about the Most High and His love. And a lot of these people, especially at the homeless shelter, what I'm seeing is there's a lot of Israelite men and women at the homeless shelters. And you can't always blame them. Like, it's not their fault. A lot of people that come in for intake, they're so admirable. They say, it's nobody's fault. It all adds up to my choices. But at the end of the day, there's certain things that are in play right now that are keeping certain people oppressed. So you can't always, even though it's admirable, just always say it's my fault, my decision, my choices. Yeah, it could be 50% that, but then it's also 50% the current structure that is in play right now. We don't need to take that lightly as well. We just really don't. The thing is with this system is when you fall, or when you have those times where you just can't be on top of everything, that's really when they try to get you. And at that point, it's really do or die. You could really sink when you can't stay on top of things like they, because this is all just a game, really. And so when you get tired or when you fall off in the game, they do everything they can to bring you back down harder. There's this one guy that's in the homeless shelter going through a divorce and everything, 57 years old. I see that he's still, he really doesn't have it all together because he's still not being truthful to himself. But anyway, he's got all this debt. Credit's really bad. He bought a 2011 Honda Civic that should have been only about $4,500. Because of his bad credit, his interest was around 20%. So what he should have spent, is now quadrupled almost. Now his $4,500 car ended up being a $20,000 car, because he had such bad credit. And just the stories you hear about people's situations and things like that. Then you have this other, I'm pretty sure he's a Hebrew Israelite, really cute guy, almost my complexion, maybe just a little bit lighter, dreads. But, it seems like he's got his whole mindset is almost like a lot better than this 57-year-old. Like he's getting ready to exit out of the shelter, but he's got he bought this mini RV that he's latched onto his truck, and he's getting it all together because his plan is to, like those tiny homes and tiny buses that I was talking about. Well, he's already started working on that, and he's almost done. He's got almost everything together and good to go. So he can hit the road and travel and live life as free and as abundantly as possible. This gave me hope because I'm just like, and he has to be, maybe mid-20s to early 30s. This is giving me hope because I see that more people are slowly but surely coming to this awakening and letting go of, the idea of materialism and that you need to have this and this and this and this, and just completely be at peace with yourself, have a quality of life where you can thrive and regain that connection with the Most High. So that was very very pleasing to see, and just kind of looking at the connections between this young guy who seems to have, all of his stuff together to this older guy that's 57 years old, just coming into to the shelter, is in complete denial about his life and what got him here, untruthful, irresponsible with his finances and things like that. It's crazy to see the differences. And now they're both Black men, but one seems to just have, a clear directive into where he wants to go. And like I said, this dude seems to be a real true Israelite. This other guy, I mean, he's a Black guy, but he's still lost, And so it's just been really interesting seeing the dynamics of people. And, people have real issues. And so, like I said before, this isn't my show. I'm just here to pick up the pieces of what this beast system leaves behind. I'm just here to do my part in fixing what they destroy, fixing up, what they've damaged. Because we get all types of people in this show. I mean, people you wouldn't even expect to be homeless or seeking shelter, you will find at a homeless shelter. I mean, we have LPNs, RNs that are homeless. My mentor stated that there's one 9-time Emmy award-winning journalist that's in the shelter. You have practical geniuses, vets, all types of people that are in the system. But, Sometimes, life and certain situations can really, cause you to be in a place of complete humbleness and humility, you know. Even with me, right now, I realize that the Most High brings you to a certain point where you can actually even see the things where you were flawed in. When the Most High was blessing you so much, you start to become irresponsible. And that's why I see in the Bible too, where they say, a rich man making his way into heaven is like pulling a needle out of a haystack. Because when you're so blessed, you tend to forget, the simple, minute thing. You tend to take for granted certain things. And sometimes it takes the Most High bringing you back into a state of humbleness and humility to really realize where you flawed at, where you go wrong, where you really just taking advantage of your blessings, right? In the hopes that next time when the Most High blesses you, you'll be a bit more responsible. He's like shaping you, right? Never think you're too above still being shaped into what the Most High wants to shape and mold you into. But yeah, man, you see all types of just people in the homeless shelter, and like even my awareness now is becoming bigger because I see people living in the homeless shelter that work at the zoo. People you walk by every day, and you maybe not think twice about their quality of life or where they're living at. I see people that are currently working at the zoo living in the homeless shelter, people that are working at the airport living at the homeless shelter, people that are working at Coca-Cola, IKEA, Walmart, just all types of places. So always count your blessings, because there's somebody out there always that's living worse than you, that have it worse than you, that you walk by every day and don't think twice about. And so that's what I'm gonna leave y'all with it today. I didn't want to keep y'all too long. I've been so busy, I just been so busy, but I'm so grateful that the Most High is using me in this way. And it really has brought me back to a place of just being so humble and grateful, because I really got to a point where I was just like, really, y'all, like, what do you want from me? Like this poor little adopted girl, who didn't have anything coming into this world. But then I thought, talked to the Most High, and I was like, you know what? I have to be grateful, because even though I came in this world with nothing, and still the Most High blessed me so abundantly with so much, and I have no one else to thank but the Most High for that. Because if I had left it to this world, I would have came in this world with nothing and still had nothing. Really, I don't get any empathy, but I got to keep pushing. And that's what I was talking to the intake front desk lady too about. When I met her, she gave me her whole story about, how she was married to a husband addicted to heroin. And then once she left him, her father passed away, and then she was in the care. She was taking care of her mother. And there was one night where her boss asked her to stay and work a few extra hours. And her mother's health had been declining like 4 months after her father died, and her mother had dementia. And so she told her boss, I really can't be here. I have a really old, sickly mother. But the boss, begged and got her to stay. And she said her mother ended up dying in her home alone. And so that filled her with a bunch of regret and resentment. She ended up quitting her job the very next day, and she became like couch surfing between her two daughters until, she just got into this really dark place. And, she was praying to the Most High, and the Most High came and visited her and spoke to her and said, I'm calling you to be a servant for me. And after that, a few days after that, she ended up applying for a few positions. She ended up getting the position at Salvation Army. She's been there for 30 some odd years, and she's there to do the will of God, to do what the Most High had called her to do. I think she even told me something about when the Most High came to her. She said, if she had been there when her mother was dying, she still would have felt some form of resentment and regret, because she would have felt like there was nothing she could do. She said the Most High told her that, her father had been calling for her mother. Her mother was ready to go, and her mother didn't want for her to be there. Want her to be in that situation, So it has really been a true blessing, the people that I've met so far, and I'm just really excited to keep going with this journey and growing and learning, and really being of service to the Most High. And so I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Y'all already know what it do and what it is over here. It is peace, love, light. Shalom.